making life-changing opportunities possible for student-athletes through sports. Their sacrifice is fueled by the belief that every student can grow and deserves their time to shine. On behalf of the NIAAA, we want to thank every athletic administrator for your tireless dedication to providing 7.8 million students across the country a path to a better future.
This message presented by the NIAAA, the National Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. John. Powered by Panama City Toyota, ESPN Northwest Florida. And now, the Gulf Coast's newest sports talk host.
Hey, there's the new guy.
Paul Wilson.
That is not winning football.
Paul is your pipeline to the heart of the action.
The defense can only play this good for so long.
Hot takes, big reactions, and your calls are incoming.
This week, it's really going to be crucial.
The Sports Blitz.
They're playing championship football.
The new Sports Blitz.
You can say what you want.
On 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
What time it is. It's time for the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We're so glad to have you join us today. Don't forget tonight, Florida, LSU, basketball, 6 o'clock following the show right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Don't forget, you can call in, you can text in on the Red 7T's phone line, 850-215-6290. Your place for custom apparel, Red 7T's. And don't forget, we are your home for the NFL playoffs and Super Bowl 60 as well. So obviously on a Tuesday, especially after the national championship, I had to roll him up out of the bed today to make him wake up. I called just to wake him up this morning because he stayed up so late last night cheering on the Indiana Hoosiers. I've got in studio none other than Big Ten and Jeffrey. Jeffrey, how you doing today?
I'm not a homer, okay? I'm not wearing red today. Came in with my, bag-colored clothes today and not red Indiana.
Yeah, well,
yeah,
that's part
I'm not going crazy. I'm not going to stick a fork in, the Hurricanes or anything like that.
No. And as always on a Tuesday, we got Bone Crusher in the building. How you doing, Bone Crusher?
Hey, Pookie.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good there.
Thank you very much. Either way, we got to talk about it. Obviously, 27-21, and we're going to be able to find out. We're going to announce the winner of the $75 worth of gift cards right after the 5 o'clock hour today. So we'll be able to tell you if you were the closest, and, we'll tell you the rules on how we came up with it, just in case some people come really close or they were right there. So either way, we'll figure that out at 5 o'clock.
So it wasn't Mike?
It wasn't you.
It wasn't me, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, what was your score? I forgot. Tell me your score.
38-18.
Okay, so you were close with Miami's score by 3.
Yeah,
but
and I was underwhelmed in the first half. The whole entire first half when I was watching, I was like, really? They're going to just score 10 before halftime? I was disappointed by the amount of scoring, and I think they both opened up with 3 punts, both teams. In the first quarter. It was really kind of lackluster, and I was really kind of surprised. Now, of course, the defense was playing good, but I couldn't believe they just didn't move the ball like I thought that they could or would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was a surprise based off of how you felt like Indiana played. Now, let me ask you this about that. Did you think that it was Miami's defense, or do you think the lack of execution? Because Mendoza has been as accurate as I've seen before. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times you'll have, I'll give you a good example. When I'm watching the Bengals play, And
You see the potential.
Burrow will no, I don't see potential in the Bengals. Burrow will throw a ball to a double coveraged Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase will go up and make a play, and people will talk about, oh, Burrow, what a great throw. And no, he went up and made the play. So with Mendoza, especially against Oregon, especially against Alabama, he made throws. He put the ball right on them. Now, they love the back shoulder. Fowler and Herbstreit, salivated over that the whole night about how great the back shoulder is, and it is. It's a great throw. It's wonderful. But Mendoza was not as sharp or as crisp as he was in the Oregon game and the Alabama game. Now, was that due to Miami's defense, or was he just a little off, which is fine because everybody can be off. You can't be perfect every time.
So less loose coverage. Miami definitely was a little more stickler, but also what you talked about before, but Miami's defense is the closing speed. I mean, they may be like 2-3 yards away, but boom, they're right there, It was pretty smothering. There was a lot of flags being held in that first half, and even in the third half, there's a couple of them that I really was like disagreeing with, that I didn't agree with, but I don't know. I just, I think he threw very well. Extremely well. Let's put it extremely well, because this is a top quarterback, man. I mean, do you agree with the top quarterback comment?
Yeah, obviously he was the best quarterback this year in college football. He was.
Yeah,
he was. And that's what the preface is. Now, is he the best quarterback that I've seen in a long time? Absolutely not. Is he somebody that I think is going to have this big, beautiful career in the NFL? Not necessarily. It wouldn't surprise me that he did well. I don't see him, the greatness of what they were able to do was fantastic. But I wouldn't put him in the top 25 of greatest college football players to ever play in college football.
Yeah,
no,
absolutely. Yeah,
no. And I wouldn't even put him in, I probably wouldn't even put him in the top 25 in top quarterbacks to ever play in college football. I mean, honestly, there's been so many greats, and he was really good. But I don't know if I would call him great.
I'm going to shock you with one statement. And look, I'm not trying to be a hurricane, just set them on fire type thing, because I really do believe that this Hurricanes team improved. I think the coach improved, but I still don't believe that Mario Cristobal is a top 20 coach.
Wow, that is shocking.
Yeah, and I think he was worse at the beginning of the season or middle of the season, because losing to teams like SMU and Louisville is proof that he is not a top 20 coach, but he did pretty dang well in this playoffs, He definitely improved, I think, over the season, but he has so much talent on that team. Okay, Miami was talent-laden, but what he was doing with it, and there were times where, especially like, what was it, 1st and 10, and they had the delay game penalty in the fourth quarter, and I was kind of like, this is the difference right here. The coaching is the difference right here, and this is the reason why they're not going to win. And I didn't believe that they were going to come back and win like everybody was saying, oh, it's a 6-point lead. You know what's going to happen? Miami's going to go down, score a touchdown, and win by 1. And I was like, no, it's not going to happen.
I'm going to read a comment here off of Facebook real quick, just because it is pertinent to what we're talking about. He started out with, who won the game last night? I can't remember, ?
Is that Chris?
No. Beck lost the game for Miami. He showed us who we thought he was. He let them down when it was his chance to shine.
I think Tony had more to give in this game. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fletcher gave it all he could. I think he and Bain probably increased their draft grades as this game went on.
Mesidor did too. Mesidor did too. He was good in the beginning.
And then Fletcher flushed it down after the game.
Yeah, and we'll talk about all the aspects of that.
Yeah.
Would it surprise you that the person that made the comment is a Notre Dame fan?
I don't really care.
What?
You know what? I'm glad that Marcus Freeman, though, behaved himself on the pregame stuff.
There was some pushback that I saw and heard. I actually got some messages from, during the
telecast?
Time, the telecast when they were started talking and things. There's still a lot of people that don't like them sitting out of the playoff or the bowl game. I mean, obviously there's a lot of.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't like them sitting out the bowl game. They sound like a bunch of little kids taking their ball home and not playing. I'm not going to play with you because, I didn't like this, Okay, well, you don't want to play by the rules. You don't want to play what the rest of the universe is doing. Okay, you be a little child and go in your corner. I don't like it. Do
you think it was still a good move for the ESPN to bring Marcus Freeman in?
No, that was a boneheaded decision. Why the heck did they do that? If you're number 11, get lost, and they have 2 automatic bids that are over the 11 and the 12 seed. Yeah. And you didn't even want to play in a bowl. I don't know why he was there, I would have liked Golding there before I would like Freeman. And he's coached 3 games? Well, normally, if you remember, a lot of times they will bring the coaches that made the playoff to the telecast and talk and give their. And obviously now, when Alabama was out, they would always bring Nick Saban there. But. Well, he was a fixture. Right. And that's why he's where he is now. They do it smart sometimes, too. They give him, quite a bit of leeway. So you see it as a bonehead move. So you don't see it as the tipping the hat. No, that the NCAA and ESPN and everybody college football related that made made the decision to leave them out. You don't think that was their, try to make it right. Let's give the dog a bone and bring him back into the fold. I guess they got some Irish fans watching. Yeah. That's all that was really. I don't think they were trying to pat him on the back and say, hey, we kind of miss you a little bit, even though the ratings were not down. And you said there's going to be $25 million landfall. No, there was not. And the team that you thought you might replace, the 10 seed, went to the national championship. So now, who's looking smart? It ain't Notre Dame. It ain't Notre Dame fans. They need to just be quiet. I'm sorry. Alabama was the first team out last year. Yep. They were quiet. I thought they were quiet. I don't know about your buddies. Yeah, they were quiet. They weren't whining, complaining, and here we are, and those guys still haven't hibernated. I've seen posts yesterday before the game from Notre Dame fans. I was like, really? Come on, man. Yeah. Well, so you're not the best team in your state. You can't even win your state championship, and you won a national title? Come on, man. Really? Think about it. And, I mean, how long has it been since Notre Dame has won? 88 or 89. I don't know. I've lost count. It's been so long. Right. I had acne. Well, now we really know how Jeff feels about Notre Dame. This is great. This is wonderful. I had no idea. This wasn't on the docket for today's discussion. No? Yeah, so, I mean, you're really helping us out here. This is a really deep, great discussion. So maybe I'm not offending Hurricanes today. I'm just offending Irish. Not so fast. Here we go. We're going to get into the Hurricane fans. Now, you said Fletcher needs to run the ball 150 yards. Oh, it's a done deal. They won the game. Yeah. 112, not bad. Right? Yep, but still not 150. Not 150, but 150 is a tall task. It is a tall task. And I saw Brian react to the 150. He was like, well, yeah. I mean, come on, 150, it's a lot. Yeah, but realistically, if they were, and I said 150 by Fletcher, but as a running back room, it would have been 150. I believe it would have won. I still think it would have won because. Well, there was a point where Fernando had, now this is Mendoza, this is for Indiana, right? Yeah. He had 8 rushes for -6 yards and a TD. Yeah. Did you know that? Yeah, because of the sacks. They count that. So, our friend of the show, Ty from Humbert Diesel and Repair. Michigan fan. He said college football runs through the Big Ten. Oh, so everybody says. I thought he was going to say South Bend. No. Like, please no. No. So, I mean, when you really look at it and you see what the game really presented, though, it was a good game. I mean, I do have the stats.
understanding what we were talking about in the beginning, though, it did take Miami knocking them off kilter a little bit. I feel like that, you said, yes, it had something to do with the defense, and I think so, too. It seemed like Mendoza was a little bit worried on the sideline as far as his demeanor compared to his demeanors from the other games. But it's hard not to be in a good mood when you're already up against Oregon, and then you go down really easy on Alabama, your second drive. Remember, they 3-and-outed Indiana first, and then Alabama 3-and-outed, and then they went down the field like a hot knife through butter.
Yeah.
And he had this expression on his face of happiness because it was like, man, it looks like it's going to be a good night. Well, he didn't have that as much with,
because
and
it came slow. It came
slower. And that's where I don't know if I 100% agree with you. And let me tell you why about Cristobal. The reason why is because exactly what. Now, I'm not trying to act like I'm Mr. Smart. No, nobody's calling me to ask me to coach a team. So
I saw the mistakes, and it's the coaching that was responsible for those mistakes. There was immaturity.
Yeah, but there was Indiana mistakes too. There was some Indiana mistakes that you hadn't seen before.
Yeah,
that you hadn't. Now I haven't watched a bunch of Indiana's games. I will say that, but I did watch all of Oregon. I did watch all of the Alabama game, and I did watch all of the Miami game.
What about the Ohio State?
And all of the Ohio State game. Yeah, I watched all of those 4 games that mattered the most.
Yes.
And I did see clips from the games of highlights. Okay. Yeah. So I'm not going to tell you that I'm some, student of the Indiana's schedule this year. But I will say this. There were times that they wasn't as disciplined, and that we had been force-fed this whole time about how he's got everybody under this little, magic ball or bubble or whatever, and he's moving them, and they never make mistakes. Yeah, he's a big puppet master. He hasn't made any mistakes and blah blah blah. So there was some bonehead decisions by some of the Indiana team. All right.
Yeah.
But I think realistically, when you look at what Cristobal did, you have to give him credit. He slowed the game down. He tried to establish the run game. He tried to lean on his offensive line, who outweighed Indiana's by 30 or 40 pounds per person or something like that.
Yeah.
So really, he did the things that I thought he was going to do. I told you from the beginning, these guys worked under Saban, and it's not just Saban because he was from Alabama, but Saban's just a smart guy. He taught these guys how to run things and how to do things, and they grab it and pull it, and, it don't work out every time, but it does work out some. But how Cristobal's game plan, you could tell, you could see, and I think it was an effective game plan because the game was close. And I think it could have been closer. And we're going to definitely discuss all the facets of the game and where where it kind of started going sideways, but then it was kind of pulled back. The thing about Miami, though, is that their defense, I feel like they put the pressure on the offense. And when there wasn't easy scores, when there wasn't easy runs, when there wasn't big explosive plays. Now, you can say an explosive play is anything above 20 yards. They still got those, but the way they had to get them and what down it was on and the pressure and how they had to have it happen, that's something to be said about the defensive game plan. And, we always talked about how that against Ohio State, Miami's guys were out of breath, they were tired, or and they were worried about that. But if you saw the Ole Miss game compared to last night's game, you almost say those guys were not even playing in the game against Ole Miss because Mesidor wasn't really making many tackles, and Bain didn't only have but one tackle against Ole Miss.
Yeah.
But last night, he again was old Bain. He was unblockable.
Yeah.
And so with that, with the way the defense played last night, that's where I see they are the ones that really, for Miami, took it to the next level. That was say what you want. That was a top 3 defense last night we watched against Miami, or against Indiana.
Against Indiana.
Yeah. And the way that they rushed the quarterback. Now, yeah, every defense that has a good pass rush is going to give up gashes of run game. They're going to give up those 8 to 12-yard runs that it's just like, it's just part of it because that's the game plan.
Eventually.
Sometimes you're going to be in the right call. Sometimes you're going to be in the wrong call, and you're going to have to rely on that linebacker to make that one-on-one tackle, and sometimes they didn't wrap up. Mm-hmm. And that's all right because, those running backs, and that was another thing about Indiana this year. Those running backs really, really, really were good. And the thing is that I believe that was the key outside of hitting Mendoza as much as they possibly could, being able to stop the run early like they did. Now, later on in the game, they started breaking, more runs because, Miami had to pin their ears back and go. That's why the middle of the field was open.
The eye test on this game, and then I don't want to say comparing it with the Ole Miss game, is that, okay, number one, they outplayed Ole Miss. There was no doubt Miami outplayed Ole Miss.
Yeah.
But the eye test on this is I heard people say that, Miami's not wrapping Indiana up. Well, you know what? It's because they're number one. It's because they're undefeated. They're a great team. They're hard to tackle. They were harder to tackle than Ole Miss. And Miami did a great job at wrapping up the Ole Miss people and making sure they didn't get any extra yards.
Except for the one run by Lacey.
Yeah, the 75-yarder.
That was it.
That just broke open, and he had a hole, and he was gone because he's fast.
Yeah.
But when they got a hand on him, everybody for Miami was wrapping up the Ole Miss guys. Did they have a little bit harder time with Indiana? Sure, but it was because it was Indiana. They were that good.
Yeah.
And I'm not knocking that Miami messed up or anything like that. I'm just saying that when you play a higher level of an opponent, you might not look as good because, you're playing somebody good, right?
Yeah.
And I thought that Miami's a great team, one of the most improved teams of the whole entire nation, if not the most improved, and they're talent laden. And I'm not saying they're going to be back next year because with the draft and everything, it's not always kind to teams, and they're not as deep as they were in the early 90s or in the 2000s where they just reload. That's the word they used. The Seminoles did it, the Gators did it, the Hurricanes have done it, Alabama's done it probably better than anybody. And I'm not so sure how good the Hurricanes are going to be next year, but it's definitely a possibility with this momentum that they're going to be in the ACC championship next year.
Yeah, we'll see.
Either way, second time.
Yeah. Well, we're going to have to take our first break, and when we come back, we got a Miami-loving Taylor Devers coming on the phone with us to talk about it. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Text him now on the Red 7T studio line. 850-215-6290.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Tuesday. Mostly sunny the remainder of the day with a gentle breeze around 10 miles per hour coming out of the north-northeast and temps near 57. Tonight we will have partly cloudy skies and a wind speed of 8 miles per hour and be cool at 43. Mostly cloudy tomorrow and a high 61. Some sun Thursday with a temp of 67. This forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Are you looking to invest in rare coins and precious metals? Well, look no further. Coin and Bullion Reserves is Bay County's trusted source for rare coins and precious metals. Located in the heart of Panama City, our showroom is stocked with a vast selection of gold and silver bullion, rare coins, and currency. Whether you're just starting out or you're a seasoned collector, we have what you're looking for. Our sales staff has over 50 years of experience to help guide you through your purchase. Come and visit Coin and Bullion Reserves today and build your collection with confidence.
Are you feeling tired, weak, or maybe you feel old and cranky? If so, I have the answer. It's Max Fit Sports Nutrition with 2 locations, 23rd Street in the Coronado Plaza and in Pier Park North on Back Beach Road. Max Fit Sports Nutrition has nutritional products and professional dietary plans to get you moving in the right direction. So get off that couch and get to Max Fit Sports Nutrition now. Max Fit Sports Nutrition, where you can try it before you buy it.
The Gator Boys are back
Florida will cut down the nets. Winners of the national championship.
and ready to defend their national title.
Rack, layup, good and wide. Off the rim. Alley-oop dunk, smashed down by Condon. Oh, yes, sir. Gets the foul line extended. Rises for 3. Bang, you got it to the rack. Dunks it with 2 hands.
On your home for Florida basketball.
Florida Gators, LSU Tigers tip off tonight at 6 on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Eat, sleep, game. This is your sports obsession. ESPN Northwest Florida. Now back to the Sports Blitz.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Your home for the NFL playoffs and Super Bowl 60. Don't forget tonight, Florida and LSU battle on the hard court. Right here at 6 o'clock, right after the show, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your place for college basketball, because college football ended last night. And if you want to be a part of the show, you can be 850-215-6290. We are joined by none other than Taylor Devers from Norvell Central Chop Chat. And Taylor, so good to have you today. How you doing today, my friend?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
We're doing great in here. We are talking about this Indiana-Miami game that happened last night. Obviously, I know you watched it. And are you a little bit excited that the Miami Hurricanes did not win?
Of course. It's always a good time when Miami loses to a team that excels in basketball. I love it. Absolutely love it.
Well, Indiana won the Big Ten. 10 years ago is the last time that Indiana won the Big Ten in basketball. That's not good.
So, yeah. So maybe they might need to find – does Signetti coach basketball? I don't know. Can he do it? Can he do it?
Well, I sent a thing to you, Paul. You saw it. 50 years since Bobby Knight went undefeated in 1976. Yes. Yeah, so that's crazy.
So let me ask you this, Taylor. When you look at how this affects, because, you know, really when you look at when you're in the same state as a team that wins, how do you think this is going to affect the recruiting in the state of Florida with Miami getting to the doorstep, but not fully, you know, opening the door, but being able to get to the doorstep? Do you think it's going to really help them in recruiting? Do you think it's going to push them, you know, way ahead, and Florida State's just going to have to play catch up and put it on the field? Or do you feel like that them losing last night helped your recruiting for the Seminoles?
I think obviously Miami has been so far ahead of Florida State in terms of high school recruiting. They're going to have to do a lot of work. And obviously Florida State, they signed a 31-man class. I mean, this is a class that Florida State had to basically throw bodies at a wall, see what sticks, and just kind of figure it out. You know, Miami losing the national championship, obviously it helps because you're not winning a national championship, and Miami's still in that realm of, like, you got to win. It's almost like a USC situation. You're having to win. You're a big program, but you haven't got over the hump. And I think Cristobal, as much as a great recruiter as he is, I just don't know in terms of what you can do on the field in terms of being a game manager and what you can do in terms of having those guys in. You see, for example, at Miami going after Darian Mensah, the quarterback from Duke, and he's going to go through a whole lawsuit and go through that problems and everything like that. But I just wonder if Miami is going to kind of punt for the next season because they're losing so much, like Reuben Bain and Carson Beck and different guys like that, and just trying to figure out what they have in those pieces. I think that does help Florida State, but how much will that affect Florida State is going to be a big key, because Mike Norvell knows as much as anybody that the 2-10 and 5-7 season really hurt them in terms of getting to back where Miami is right now.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to hurt. I think they're going to figure it out. Miami as far as filling those holes. Now, obviously, it's hard now because of the way the NIL has kind of shifted players, and you're not as deep as you were. But I know that they are going to have some of those guys back, not all of those guys back, and Bain and Mesidor being replaced. I mean, realistically, that's so hard. And if you look at it, unless you had the depth of like what we've talked about with Alabama, with LSU, where maybe you've had those sophomores or those freshmen that were, coming in that are 5 stars or whatever. And I know we'll talk about 5 stars and all that too later on. But I'm curious to see what he's going to be able to replace. Now, the quarterback position, there is no other position in college football that's more important than the quarterback position in the world we live now. You have to have somebody that has got to be experienced, period. We don't have, if you know what, and I'm going to go ahead and say it, it's going to be a long time before we'll see a 5-star quarterback from high school come in and immediately start and be able to take his team to the national title. The last person to do that was Trevor Lawrence.
And one before that was Johnny Manziel.
Right. No, he didn't win the national title.
Yeah, but he's a freshman doing a lot of damage.
Well, what I'm talking about is win the title. You can go in and throw for 1 million yards. You can go in and run for 1 million yards. But I'm talking about actually being able to win, because you used to be able to say that unless you had this, you're not going to win based off of what happened in the past. And so I'm going to go ahead and say it. It's going to be a long time before you'll see a national championship won with a 5-star quarterback or any star quarterback coming straight from high school going into the starting role. It's not going to happen, and they're not going to do it.
Yeah.
What do you think about that, Taylor? You agree with that statement?
Honestly, I think it could have happened with Arch Manning, but unfortunately, they kind of were so headstrong on Quinn Ewers being able to start and everything. I think that kind of ruined everything. I know a lot of people thought about, like, for Florida, for example, with DJ Lagway. Everybody thought maybe if they got to 3 losses and maybe they were 9-3 with that schedule, he could be able to contend for a national championship, and obviously that didn't happen. But there's a couple of cases where I think it could happen. Cal's quarterback is also another good example. I think it's possible if you have pieces around him, but it's just so hard if you're having to base everything off of a 5-star quarterback in this NIL budget to where you're trying to field a team, and, unfortunately that's the 5-star quarterback is just not going to be your whole team like it used to be.
I just wonder if J.J. McCarthy is going to be the name that we use for a long time that says the national champion, the last national champion that won where he started at as a freshman is going to be there. I'm telling you.
No, I'll disagree with that.
We're going to have NIL transfer quarterbacks winning the national championship probably going forward. I'm just saying. You don't agree with that?
No, I think if Trinidad Chambliss is a transfer too, technically. Yeah. So even if
everybody was a transfer.
Everybody is, yeah. And now Ty Simpson might be.
What do you mean?
I mean, he's going somewhere else, right?
No, Ty Simpson's going to the pros.
Oh, okay. He's going to the pros. Well, that's over with.
Yeah. But yeah, what do you agree? Do you agree with that statement? I know we're asking questions here, Taylor, but these are things that are coming up that I feel like we might be seeing the changing of the guard of business as usual in college football because of all the stuff that's going on.
Yeah, I don't want to boast your ego, but I will just for this segment.
You talking about Jeff, right?
Russell,
Jeff, or me? You talking me?
I think Russell from Alabama will be able to have that opportunity at Alabama.
Wow,
I think he's set up really nicely for that opportunity, and plus that fan base is starving, that coaching staff is hungry. I'm not saying it's a possibility maybe this year, but I think if he starts this year, maybe they win, go to the playoff again, and then he has revenge off of that, and now you're having another year, I think could really be beneficial for him.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So you're saying Alabama's back? I'm joking.
Oh, man.
I think he's good enough to get you there. I don't know if they're necessarily back. I think he's got to have a lot of things go his way, and they got to have some receivers obviously step up, and obviously a running game that is maybe a little bit more productive than my grandmother running the ball back there. it just seems like there's just a lot of things that could go right for that program because they have the recruiting landscape, they have the foundation, they have a lot of things going their way. I know it's not Nick Saban running the show anymore, but I do think that is a team that can be able to do it with the 5-star quarterback.
Yeah, that's true. Somebody with the last name Wilson just commented on our Facebook page, Roll Tide. Thank you, honey. I appreciate that.
Tell your mom stop doing that.
My mom's a Georgia fan. That's my wife. So either way, Taylor, tell us a little bit about, we got about 6 or 7 minutes left. Tell us a little bit about what is going on with Florida State recruiting. So did the Twins eventually sign back? Are they back or did they leave? Not the Twins, the brothers. Yeah.
Yeah, they officially came back and everything. They kind of wanted to test the market, leverage everything. They signed deals a couple of months ago, and the deals kind of fell through. They kind of saw some things in the contract that they really didn't like, and obviously in this landscape of college football, most of the times you have these multi-year deals. Well, they did sign a multi-year deal, but the problem is they had some things where they can opt out a couple of things. They didn't like some of the numbers. The guys were getting 2 different values, and obviously Mandrell is a bigger productive piece that Florida State has. He was a freshman All-American, had 6 sacks. His brother had 1 sack, didn't really play too much. He's a little bit on the smaller side, but I do think both of them are very productive. It's a get that Florida State had to get back. I mean, that defensive line was decimated. Their whole starting defensive line is basically out from a year ago. You're having to replace all those pieces again. And as we talk about with Miami, they've been dominant on the defensive line, getting those trenches in the recruiting process, and Florida State really hasn't done that. They need the Desir twins to be able to step up, and it was massive they got those back because if a team like Miami or even Ohio State would have got after them, it would have been a big issue for Florida State.
So do you think, with that being said, that kind of secures your defensive line as far as giving you some depth, giving you some experience, giving you, actually really good players that are turning into possible superstars? That's going to be something huge for you. But also, does it help that they are recruits? Because we are so heavy and focusing on the NIL and the transfers that does this help Mike Norvell get a foothold and to say, hey, if you're a recruit, you can come here and start, and we can compete with everybody to keep you in house for your full career?
1,000%. I think the Desir twins are going to be your basically your backbone for this defense. I think another guy, too, that they needed to get back, and he kind of flirted with the transfer portal as well. Didn't really do much, but he announced he was being back on last week, is Kevin Wynn, a 4-star defensive tackle that we got, the number 1 prospect in our class from the 25 class, and this is a guy that you needed to get back. Basically, if you flip on the tape from him in high school, he was basically like a WWE superstar. He was suplexing everybody, 330 pounds. I mean, he was that nose tackle type that you needed in that defense to support the run. I just think that there was a lot of things there that you needed to have back, and I think those 3 combined together, I think, were a big piece in what Florida State wanted to bring to the table, especially to make sure like a team like Georgia didn't get involved, because he actually was recruited by Georgia for a long time. And then you got a guy like Kevin Sperry, a 4-star quarterback out of that 25 class, who, even though Florida State brought in an Ashton Daniels, brought in a Malachi Marshall from the JUCO ranks, and then you also brought in a Lafayette transfer as well. He's a senior, just for depth purposes. It's just a lot of bodies in that quarterback room, and I wish that Florida State would emphasize being able to get those homegrown quarterbacks, because the last 2 years you've had transfer quarterbacks that really haven't panned out. We'll see what happens with Ashton Daniels, but I just hope that it reigns true with those freshmen or even redshirt freshmen that you've recruited out of high school, especially at the quarterback position and some of these skill positions, to where you're not recruiting those guys over and over and over again on the transfer portal, to where you give those guys a chance.
Is it an open competition for the quarterback position, or did they tell Ashton Daniels that he's the number 1 guy coming in? Because a lot of people were talking before they signed, when they had Lagway coming in, when they had Daniels coming in, and now they had Sperry there. Everybody was like, man, let's just see what we got with Sperry. Let's just give him a shot. I saw a lot of talk online about Sperry, and I just wonder if Ashton Daniels is coming in as the favorite just because of him being able to have some experience in the SEC.
Yeah, I was told, he was actually told that he was going to be competing for the job. It wasn't he's going to be a starter. He's going to compete with Kevin Sperry. The other guy that they got in the 26 recruiting class, Jaden O'Neal, he actually suffered an injury it's going to probably be a knee injury that he's going to be out for quite some time. So basically, you had 2 starting scholarship offers or scholarship options going into the offseason. So you really needed depth at the position. Malachi Marshall, another guy, a JUCO guy, they really, really like him, and I think he's a great get for Florida State in terms of the JUCO ranks. I just don't think he's quite ready just yet. He's got 3 years to play 2. I think he's probably going to use his red shirt because he is enrolling during the summer and then being able to have that. So I think if you're looking at just the outside looking in, I think it is a Daniel Sperry race, and I would love to see. My heart says that Sperry's going to start, but my mind, just in terms of the last 2 years, I think that Daniels is probably going to get that nod later on.
Yeah, because he's a bigger kid, and I know, Gus Malzahn's called every quarterback that he's ever had a chance to play or to coach the next Cam Newton. But with talking about the JUCO kid, yeah, he's going to need to do a little bit of eating, too, because he's like 6'2", 170. So, and he's going to have to get a little thicker because you don't want what you had this year with Tommy Castellanos being so small and light.
Yeah, I definitely hope that quarterback situation kind of works itself out. I love the Marshall take, though. I think it's a great get for Florida State overall for the long-term thing because I think him and Sperry can really compete for the 27 job. But just overall, though, I hope both Daniels or Sperry, whoever the job takes over, I hope that we go into Coral Gables in 26 and we're able to throw a lot of touchdowns in that stadium and shut that crowd up, just like Indiana did because that home crowd was 60-40 in their own stadium. So I just think that Florida State's going to have a great chance and a great offense this year, and I can't wait to see it.
Let me ask you this. We've only got about a minute to go before our next break. Was there any time last night that you were an Indiana Hoosier?
Oh, 1,000%. 1,000%. There was no doubt in my mind that anything Miami-related, I couldn't do it. Like, I know that Jake Weinberg, our kicker, committed over there and transferred eventually. It's just a deep hatred with Miami. No hard feelings towards those players that decide to go over to Miami. But at the end of the day, if you're not bleeding garnet and gold, it's not happening.
That's what I'm talking about. Taylor Devers, Norvell Central Chop Chat. Thank you so much, Taylor. We appreciate it. We will definitely keep in touch. And, you did almost. You definitely dodged a bullet. You didn't get DJ Lagway. That was who you were hoping you would not get, so that didn't happen. So I know you're very happy about that still.
1,000%. But I appreciate it, guys. Thank y'all very much, and definitely hope that the next time we speak that Florida State gets a lot of great news, a lot of great intel, and we get some more great news going into the season.
That's right. Thank you so much, Taylor. We appreciate your time, my friend.
Yep, thank you very much.
When we come back, we're going to discuss a little bit more about this Indiana-Miami game, and we got to look at some stuff because one of us was right about the game last night. Either way, you listen to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Call in now.
This is Touchstone Service.
The Red 70 studio line is open.
Demonstrate how to make a call with your dial telephone.
850-215-6290.
ESPN, Northwest Florida.
The Sports Blitz.
See, I'm more of an old school mentality. I believe in tradition. I believe in loyalty to a program, to a system, to an organization. Everybody's a flash in the pan, microwave type society now and everything, and they want overnight success.
The Sports Blitz.
Live and local, weekdays, 4 to 6.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party. You see that new welcome offer? Bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if you win. I think we got to jump on this.
What's John Daly think?
I think you got to grip it and rip it.
Grip it?
And rip it.
Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook. Roll with us. New players bet $5, get $150 in bonus bets if you win. Payable in bonus bets. Not a cash offer. Offered by Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
We're proud to bring you the most popular cars in the world, like the stylish Camry and the sporty Corolla. Get award-winning style and 2.99% APR on a new Camry. Named the best new model by Kelley Blue Book. Plus, you get 90 days until you make your first payment. Curb appeal comes standard on the new Corolla. Designed to wow from the inside out. Get 2.99% APR plus 90 days until your first payment. Panama City Toyota, your Camry and Corolla headquarters.
Offer ends February 2nd. Visit PanamaCityToyota.com for details.
The Gator Boys are back.
Florida will cut down the nets. Winners of the national championship.
And ready to defend their national title.
Correct. Layup good and wide. Off the rim. Alley-oop dunk. Smashed down by Condon. Oh, yes, sir. Gets the foul line extended. Rises for three. Bang, he got it to the rack. Dunks it with two hands.
On your home for Florida basketball.
Florida Gators, LSU Tigers tip off tonight at 6 on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Climb into our TM and jump into the chat. The Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson is live on Facebook. Interact with Paul and other sports fanatics. Now, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We're so glad that you joined us on this cold Tuesday right here in the Panhandle. Don't forget tonight, Florida, LSU basketball, 6 o'clock right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. LSU going to try to turn back the Gators, and I don't think it's going to happen. But either way, you want to be a part of the show, you can be 850-215-6290, the Red 7T's phone line. Your place for custom apparel. Check them out on Facebook or the web. Either way, Jeffrey, one of us was right about something, and I'm going to give you some credit, my friend. You said that there was a possibility that Miami was going to turn the ball over, and you were right. And it was 2-1. And you said the team that wins the turnover battle. Now, most of the time that's true. It's just like, I don't.
It's easy.
I mean, that's easy. It's just like your picks. I mean, you're going to pick the favorite. So, but let's just walk me through, because I was watching it, and the one that I'm talking about is at the big, the block punt. Mm-hmm. I mean, that just was crazy. Mm-hmm. And when you watched it, tell us about your experience about watching it, because everybody knows it's no longer LSU Jeff, it's no longer SEC Homer Jeff. We are now Big Ten Jeff. And so tell us your experience with seeing this block punt, because you were pretty excited about it.
Oh, yeah. I was, sometimes the punt, you walk to the fridge, you walk to the kitchen, you're not really paying attention, the ball will fall where it wants to. But I was hoping that they would block that punt. And I was watching it intently, and I wasn't even shocked when it happened, because I envisioned it. And then it happened, and I was so excited. It was the most excited I was the whole night, because in the fourth quarter, sure, I wasn't 100% that Indiana was going to win when they were up by 6 points. Or 3 points, There was that little place in the back of your head saying, 6 points is not a good lead.
No.
Because, a touchdown, boom, eliminates it, and you're done. I mean, it was thrilling. It was the most thrilling play of the game. It's crazy to think that a punt was the most thrilling play of the game. And I'm not taking anything away from number 80. And I will say one thing about number 80. I hope he gets drafted in the 5th, 6th, or 7th round, somewhere late, because he's not obviously a top pick,
right,
for Indiana's wide receivers. But the guy would catch the ball, and he would bring it in, and he made sure he wasn't losing it,
Right.
And there was no yards after the catch,
Mm-mm.
But the guy made sure he made that first down for his quarterback.
I just can't, we've talked about a lot of football games, and it's so surprising to hear the description of the things that you said about this Indiana team and this Indiana game. I mean, are you getting a Signetti tattoo or something? I mean, you love this team. Why was you so intent on Indiana winning? Because they're Big Ten, and I knew we were going to have the homers. I knew we were going to have the Big Ten homers talking about, we got another one. And see, that's where the SEC, for me, I don't really do that. I mean, yes, the SEC has been dominant for so long, and I get it. Everybody's like, oh, now 3 in a row. Now it's done it's shifted, and even you said it's shifted, and I'm like, it's okay.
Well,
There's just a run. It's just a run. They're gonna figure it out, and we can talk about it. We can really discuss this if you want to. But it's gonna be you're gonna say I'm a Saban homer, but realistically, the NIL did not change football as much as the effect of Nick Saban leaving Alabama. Nick Saban leaving Alabama was the biggest shakeup for college football that we've seen in so many years, not the NIL, my friend. That's why college football is like it is, because Nick Saban said, I'm out of here, and the next thing you know, now you got all of these recruits going somewhere else to go play for somebody else, and then you got all these coaches trying to act like Nick Saban on the sideline. So just let me be very clear. Nick Saban changed college football as well as a little bit of the NIL.
I think the NIL is right there with the whole Saban switch, but I think the NIL actually edges out as far as changing college football right now. And, we've been talking about this top-heavy Big Ten, right?
It is.
Ohio State, Michigan, and then your third fiddle is Penn State, and we never thought that Penn State would win a title, and yet here we are with the third team being Indiana.
Right.
And how many different teams?
And hold on, let's swap it out now.
Yeah.
Michigan falls out of that top group because they're not a top.
And Oregon is in.
Indiana replaces Penn State.
Okay. Yeah. So now it's Oregon, Ohio State, and Indiana.
And those other ones to be determined.
Yeah.
If Matt Campbell and Whittingham is going to be able to do anything.
Yeah. And then you also have what you thought Illinois was going to be good. And then there's always Iowa lurking. And then there's Washington coming back. And then there's the one that you hate the most, USC. You hate you on some USC. You never believe they're ever coming back, but I'm going to let you know right now.
They're not back.
I'm going to let you know right now. I think that USC has a better chance of winning a title before Miami does.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know what just happened last night? One was playing in the title, and USC, nobody's even thinking about them.
No, but you.
Yeah, but me.
Man, USC Jeff.
And you know what kind of talent is down in Miami in high school? I want you to guess how many players were on the Indiana roster from the state of Florida.
10.
7.
Okay.
5 of those 7 are from Miami.
And they probably started. One of them was the quarterback.
Most of them. They had one player from Jacksonville and one player from Lakeland.
The quarterback was from Miami. Mendoza's from, and then the person who caught the interception at the end of the game was from Miami.
You're right.
So there you go.
Number 22 or 29?
22.
Yeah, 22. Yeah.
But, talking about the game with the punt to me was the determining factor. I mean, I get it. It was early, but I just think that was a big turn of events. You take that away, who's to say they come down and score or whatever. Now, we talk about coaching. Realistically, there were some errors last night that Cignetti had. Mm-hmm. They did not try to score right there at the end when they threw the Hail Mary kind of pass at the end of the half. They had about 45 seconds, and they had the ball on the 30-yard line. They ran it, let 15 seconds run off the clock. Then they called a timeout. Then they threw another pass, and it went for a pretty good time. And they were only about 20 yards to 30 yards away from having a field goal chance, but they let too much time run off the clock, so that's why they had to go with the deep pass to try to get it in the end zone. But there was some play. There was some – okay. We've never seen a coach have the camera on him as much as we've had the last 3 games that Indiana's played.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how that they've already anointed this guy the second coming of Nick Saban. They've already anointed him as the greatest college football coach. Right now, he's already surpassed, by winning 1 championship, he's surpassed Dabo, he's surpassed Ryan Day, he's surpassed Kirby, he's surpassed all these guys who have won. Now, obviously, he's done something. He's turned this team around. He's a wonderful coach. He's great. He's smart. He's intelligent. But you got to have a great high-level quarterback to win, and he had that. The question is he going to be able to replicate that year in and year out?
Yeah.
Now, the one thing that I will say...
And look at the state he's in. Notre Dame and Purdue have created so many great quarterbacks. Indiana's nothing.
Right.
Ever.
Yeah, this is the first one.
Yeah.
I mean, Penix went there, but he transferred.
Yeah.
So...
But nobody. I mean, they're third fiddle in their own state. That's really, really pathetic.
But they are winning. They're winning.
They're winning, yeah.
And he brought up a point last night in, talking about that they've only lost 2 games in 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And, that's all good and all. And then he also brought up something that I want to discuss. And we might have to carry this on into the top of the hour. But, he's talking about how that they didn't have the $25 million. Well, realistically, I looked it up. I just wanted to see. So Miami's NIL was their team was $24.4 million. Some say it got above 25. Okay, fine. Put it at 25. But Indiana was $21.1 million. So they're around.
Now, is this money spent?
Yes, on this year's team. That's what the NIL was for the team.
Because the list I saw, it was Indiana was 12 in the nation on spending NIL. And Miami was 19th, so I don't know how that even works out.
Yeah, well, mine, I looked it up more than one place.
Okay.
And Miami was at number 4, and Indiana was at number 7.
Wow.
So what I'm saying is I get it. I know what he's trying to do. He's using the Dabo Sweeney style of coaching. You remember Dabo? You said, this is just little old Clemson. We just out here just playing little old Clemson. We ain't nobody, that whole thing. And he's trying to play that as we're not spending. They're spending the money.
Yeah.
Carson Beck made $2 million more than Mendoza. Okay.
Wow.
Which is a lot of money.
But Carson Beck, let's be honest. I mean, look at his track record. He came from Georgia. Great program, playing top-notch talent. I mean, it wasn't like he was a nobody. Mendoza, to me, was a nobody.
Right. I mean, he was good at Cal. Mm-hmm. And obviously, I saw the game that he played against Auburn last year. Mm-hmm. He was really good. They were hitting him. He played against Miami. Yeah. They were hitting him. Mm-hmm. He was really good. He got better. And obviously, he is the best quarterback in the country. And he's going to be the number 1 draft pick. Mm-hmm. I mean, all of the Raiders, Tom Brady and all them were there. He's going to do it. Now, before we go to the break, I got text message last night during the game. So last night, for the first time, a play was changed at the line of scrimmage by Mendoza. All right? And I got called out on it. But I have DirecTV. So what did I do? Rewind. I paused it and rewound it. And I paused it and rewound it again. And I watched it a couple of times. And so with that being said, yes, he changed the play. But guess who changed the play?
The coach.
The coach did.
Yeah, I did.
He looked over to the sideline. When he was standing there, they were screaming at him. He looked over, and he shook his head, they changed the play. He went up to the line and changed the play, but it was from the sideline. Yeah. So I still stand on the fact that Francisco Mendoza did not change a play in the 4 games that I watched from start to finish. So that, to me, my friend, is going to be a problem. He's got to learn how to do that. Is he smart? Yes. Is he more than capable? Absolutely. But you better make sure he can do that before you spend all these millions and millions of dollars on him as being your number 1 draft pick, Raiders. I know you're listening, Mark Davis. I'm just kidding. But realistically, when you look at it, they really did play a great game. We are going to go ahead and take our break. When we come back, our friend of the show on our Facebook page, Christopher Multiconte, has made some comments. We will read those to start out the top of the hour, and we will be giving away the $75 gift card. You listen to the Sports Blitz at 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Reach out and smack someone. Call or text now. 850-215-6290. The Red 17 studio line. ESPN Northwest Florida is taking it to the hole. Your home for the most live college basketball in the Gulf Coast. The ACC, SEC, and the biggest games in the country. Plus the official station of March Madness.
The Panhandle's destination for live play-by-play.
Hear every slam dunk in ultra-high fidelity right here.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Tuesday. Mostly sunny the remainder of the day with a gentle breeze around 10 miles per hour coming out of the north-northeast and temps near 57. Tonight we will have partly cloudy skies and a wind speed of 8 miles per hour and be cool at 43. Mostly cloudy tomorrow and a high 61. Some sun Thursday with a temp of 67. This forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
Signworks, a business serving businesses since 1985. Everything from signs and banners, vehicles and boats, magnetic and real estate signs, contractor signs, and much more. Signworks can do large format, full color printing too. Signworks, a real professional in the business world. Call Signworks at 785-8899. Signworks, 850-785-8899.
PLQ Port St. Joe, WGSX Lumen. Powered by Panama City Toyota.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Gator Boys are back.
Florida will cut down the nets. Winners of the national championship.
And ready to defend their national title.
Correct. Layup good and wide. Off the rim. Alley-oop dunk. Smashed down by Condon. Oh, yes, sir. Gets the foul line extended. Rises for three. Bang, he got it to the rack. And dunks it with two hands.
On your home for Florida basketball.
Florida Gators, LSU Tigers tip off tonight at 6 on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Can you take the hits? Here comes the Sports Blitz. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
It's 5 o'clock, and it's Tuesday, and you're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your home for the NFL playoffs and Super Bowl 60. Don't forget tonight, Florida versus LSU, right after the show on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. I'm joined with Bone Crusher and Big Ten Jeff in this joint today. We're so glad to have you here. Don't forget, you want to be a part of the show, you can be 850-215-6290, the Red 7T's phone line, your place for all things custom apparel. Go see those guys on Facebook and on the internet. What?
You want to call me Big Ten Jeff?
I did. Twice. Actually, 4 times.
And I got the Bulldog back here laughing at me.
Yeah, because it's true. I mean, Bone Crusher, tell the truth. I mean, he started the year off as ACC Louisville loving Jeff, and during the year he didn't love LSU, and he was anti DJ Lagway, anti Lane Kiffin. They both almost came there. Now he's, falling in love with the Big Ten, and they're definitely ruling the roost. And hold on, let me just say this: the excitement and the flutter that my heart did whenever Miami got their punt blocked by the greatest team on the planet named Indiana. And number 80, even though he's not, what you would call an NFL wide receiver, but I sure hope that he gets drafted because I love him, and I just hope that everything, and he never fumbles. He catches the ball on the back shoulder and never fumbles. Let's see, what else can we say? You
want to hear more?
Yeah, I mean, that's what
you do want to hear more.
That's what because
you know
thought
what?
you were going to rip your shirt off and have Indiana shaved in your chest. No, I thought it was going to be shaved in your chest.
Yeah, well, that can grow back. But no, I mean, look, Ty Humbert, right? That's his last name?
Yeah.
He runs Humbert Diesel, right?
Yes.
Okay. He's not very far off when he says that the championship is being held by Big Ten or runs through the Big Ten and all that, because 3 in a row is a lot. And I know SEC won 5 in a row right before that. And the only glitch that was in SEC's program earlier was
sunshine.
Clemson.
Yeah.
No. Don't get it wrong. Don't just say it was just sunshine, because it's Deshaun Watson also. There were 2 times where Clemson put their little card in there, and then, of course, Jameis Winston in 13, and that's all we've had. 3 ACC titles since, 06?
Yeah, but
I think it's been
if you
06.
Look, since 2010. If you count the 2010 season.
No, let's count 06. Let's go back, because Florida has 2, LSU has 1. Let's go back to 06.
And Bama's got 6.
Yeah, but Bama's got tons. Florida's got 2. Auburn's got 1. LSU's got 2. I mean, Georgia's got 2. I mean, it is SEC dominance. Is the Big Ten dominance up to that level? Obviously not. 3 in a row is not that. You get up to 5 in a row, and you will be convinced, I hope.
Yeah.
But not 3 in a row.
Not 3 in a row.
We're not to that level.
No. And also,
I get it. I
again,
understand it.
again,
yeah,
you got to say that that's another one that Nick Saban has a part to play.
I thought you were going to say if Nick Saban was coaching, Indiana wouldn't have their title.
I mean,
possible. It's possible.
It's very possible.
Now, let me go through 2 thoughts here. The APP rankings came out. Did you see them?
No.
You're going to hate it.
Give it to me.
Yeah, I know. Just, I don't even know what to tell you. But, of course, Indiana's number 1. Oregon's number 4. But here's the one that's killer. Killer. Ohio State 5. Really? 5? They gave Ohio State 5.
Out of...
They're the 5th ranked team at the end of the year. After all these bowls and these playoffs, they gave Ohio State 5. You want to see here who's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10?
Yeah, go ahead.
Georgia, Texas Tech, Texas A&M, Alabama, Notre Dame at number 10.
Wow. So they really put Alabama behind Texas A&M?
And Texas Tech, who you hate, who you think that they're just a bust.
Yeah.
They ain't played nobody, beat BYU twice. Big whoop-de-doo. Ooh, Mormons.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
But no, really, I mean, 5. Ohio State's 5. That's 3 of the top 5. These AP guys, man, they got to go.
Homers. They're homers.
You think I'm a homer. These guys are infatuated.
Yeah, well.
And so 3 titles in a row, 3 of the top 5. I don't even know what to say about it, but I will say one thing about in the defense of the SEC. Texas, Tennessee, both went last year, right?
Yeah.
The 5 that went this year are all different from Texas and Tennessee, right?
Right.
Georgia, Ole Miss, Alabama, Texas A&M, and Oklahoma. 7 different teams have made it. So the parity in the SEC is better than, let's say, the top 7 or any 7 teams you could pick out of the Big Ten, obviously.
Yeah.
But that doesn't win you titles. You got to have one team that's number 1.
Right.
And the person that you believe in as a coach is Kirby Smart. And do you think Kirby Smart will be there next year?
I think so. I mean, I thought he would be there this year, though.
Yeah.
So that's what's kind of bothering me with the Kirby deal, because he had a second-year quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
I thought for sure going into the season, obviously I haven't really I don't trust.
Now you say year.
I don't trust.
Gunnar Stockton played 3 games last year?
Understand, but follow me on this. I don't have a lot of confidence in Kalen DeBoer.
Uh-huh.
First-year quarterback Ty Simpson, that for me throws him out of the gate, right?
Uh-huh.
So because we talked about first-year starters usually don't win the national title. Okay, that's just how it works.
Yeah,
and it's very odd or very infrequent.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So yes, Gunnar Stockton, he was there though. He was there. He was under Carson Beck, comes in, does a phenomenal job being the backup, and does that. Wins the job, obviously, coming into this year. I thought, okay, so you got some starts under your belt. If Texas really is good, I think Texas and Georgia play. They both get into the playoff. It's going to be who can run the ball, who can play the better defense. I trust Kirby over Texas. So I say yes. Kirby's probably going to win it this year. I thought for sure if you would have, and I'm not a betting man, but if I were, I would have had all the money that I could put in on Kirby. That's who I was banking on. I thought Kirby was going to win it. I thought Georgia was going to win it, and they looked like they were. Mm-hmm. But then they didn't, and it just was weird to me. Either way, I know we need to read these real quick, because Miami made a good run. Christopher Multiconte, we left the national championship on the table. Miami beat themselves. Indiana was on the ropes. Hats off to them. Great team. Great season, Canes. Proved everyone wrong all year. Next year with Mensa, it'll be an automatic bid and a first-round bye. So there you go.
I don't believe that. But, so many different things could happen. We're not just talking about spring game. We're talking about the summer. We're talking about the way you start off the season. I'm not even sure who the Hurricanes are opening against next year. I think Notre Dame's playing them in November.
I think so.
Because I think Freeman said that, and Marcus Freeman said that. And that's part of the reason why he picked Miami, is because he didn't want to give them bulletin board material for when they play in November.
Let me say this, too. The one thing that they do have in their favor, transfer quarterback who started somewhere else.
If he gets out of the court case.
If he gets out, Duke allows him to go.
Mensa from Duke.
So it's going to be curious to see.
What's the other shocking thing that he said, though? They beat themselves. It wasn't yours to have. It was Indiana. Indiana's the undefeated team. They're the ones that have been convincing. Sure, Miami's great talent. We're not knocking them down to 3 or 4 spot or anything like that. They are number 2 right now. But Indiana was just a better team.
Would they beat them? How many times would Indiana beat them if 10? They played 10?
8.
Really?
Because I felt like when it was 10-0, the referees were helping Miami get back in that game.
No, I disagree. We're gonna table the referee talk till after we go to the Red 17's phone line. We got Gator Jamie on the phone. How you doing today, Jamie?
I'm doing good, boys. How are y'all?
We're doing fantastic. Give us what you think.
It was a great game last night. Honestly, I was a big Hoosier fan last night. Being a Gator fan, I can't cheer for them Canes. And I love Mendoza, man. I'm a Christian. He's Christian, and he just he lights up the room. When I just loved when I knew when they were going to interview him. I stayed up late just for the interview. Put it that way.
That's fantastic.
I wanted to talk about the game a little bit, but I really wanted to talk about, you guys were talking about the transfer portal and what's changing college football, and I kind of come up with a little theory. See what you guys thought about it. Is Cignetti coming from a smaller school background? Do you think that helps him with the transient nature of transfer portal, this, and kids staying only 1 year? Because Division II and lower level football, it's been that way, where kids come in, maybe they don't have got grades, they got to go down to junior college for 2 years, and they got to transfer again, and so you got a new team every year. Cignetti's had that. He's been doing that for ever how long he's been coaching. Whereas versus like the Saban model, where you get as much talent as you can, you stack them on your roster, you build them, you groom them up. When there's juniors and seniors, they're ready. That's the old way. That's not happening anymore. Cignetti hasn't been doing that. I think does that position him better? Is that part of the reason he's able to build such a good roster?
I think that's a great point. I got a couple of things I want to say about that. I think, the positive things about it, I'm going to agree that, yes, he knows what he's doing when he's assembling a team that the other coaches may not have had the experience that he's had. So, yes, I give him that. The thing that I think that was most important is that he was able to communicate to his team a mentality of it's us against the world. And I know everybody uses that. I get it. I know it's cliche-ish, but those guys really did believe in him enough to trust him. And you would see it with the subs as much as you see it when the starters come off the field and whenever the backups go in the game. And when I say that, I'm meaning that it was a unique situation where, yes, you did have star power. Yes, you did have some stars out there. Obviously, the Heisman Trophy winner. But realistically, this team was built of non-5 stars who really believed, and the coaching was phenomenal, and they got them to that place. Is this something that can continue? Is this something that is going to keep going? I think it's going to depend on if he can still get the players that are there that are going to be developed enough to be able to play high-level football. And personally, I don't think he's going to be able to replicate it year in, year out. I just don't think it's sustainable. But I do think with his experience, going back to the first point that you made, was, yes, he knows how to build a team with new kids, and he knows the message. Every year, yes. Now, it's going to depend on whether or not the players that he brings in, they're still going to have to be effective. They're still going to have to be able to play at a high level. And, I mean,
they're going to have that buy-in.
Yeah, they're going to have to. And if they don't, then I think they'll struggle some.
It's the difference between Indiana and FSU. I mean, they both used the same tactic.
Yes.
Just one did it effectively, and one did it very ineffectively.
But how much did Memphis players come over to Florida State? It wasn't nearly as much as James Madison.
Well, not just Memphis players, but just transfer portal in general. Like, he's been, Norvell's been in the transfer portal the last 3 years, like, pretty heavy.
But I think there's two things we're missing. Number one, if you don't think that Cignetti's like firing up these kids with, these speeches and all that in private, and their culture is like on a different level, and that this national title didn't start in Bloomington. It started in Harrisburg, Virginia. And he got kids believing in him and bought in, and this guy put his foot on the pedal and never looked back as far as like convincing these kids of his vision. And they came over from James Madison to Indiana, and those other players who may not be starters got the people that were there to believe in this culture and to buy in. And he will die buying himself into the whole Hoosier culture, because he's not an Indiana guy. What did he say after the game? He said, "What kind of beer would you drink?" Well, I'm going to drink the beer that's brewed right here in Bloomington, Indiana. I mean, this guy is so bought in, it's unreal, and he doesn't waver from it. He's there for the school and everything. I mean, they would die for him.
All right, and one more quick point I was going to make, just thought about it. I think college football is going to kind of go the way of college basketball, the way it has been. We're going to have teams that are full of fifth-year and sixth-year seniors are going to dominate the postseason, just simply because they got their grown man bodies. Indiana was the oldest team in the country this year.
Yeah, and see, I don't know if you got to listen to the show yesterday or not, but we had national champion Stephen Harris from the Gators call in. He surprised us and called in on his own, and he made a mention of that. He said the four-year seniors and the redshirt seniors are a big part of the culture, and they are a part of going out there and playing. So, yeah, you're exactly right. That's the key,
right.
Having grown men out there.
And those grown men aren't going to class. Those grown men are playing football for a living.
That's exactly right. You're exactly right.
They're graduated two and 3 years ago. They're playing football for a living at a lower level than because they're not good enough for the NFL, but they're good enough at 24 to dominate a 19-year-old.
I agree.
And they have money to get a trainer.
Well,
right.
Yeah,
they can start focusing. They can wake up, eat, sleep, and drink football instead of worried about, American history.
That's right. Exactly. Well, we appreciate the call, Jamie. You're exactly right. I agree with you, man. Great points, and we always value your opinion on this show for sure.
All right, keep it up, boys. Basketball season's here.
Oh, yeah, we're ready for it. Either way, we appreciate it, and we're going to go ahead and go to our next caller. Robert, you're on the line. How you doing today, Robert?
Out freaking standing. How about y'all?
We're doing pretty good.
How's my boy Brandon doing?
He's good. He'll be on tomorrow. He's like me, though. We're SEC homers. Jeff is the only one that's converted to the Big Ten. We haven't done it yet, so either way, we're okay.
All right. Your name is Paul, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I got a question for you, Paul. All right. Signetti, don't get me wrong, he's a freaking awesome coach, but he brought 13 players. I think it's 13 or 14 from James Madison with him.
That's
now,
right.
You know, I think those kids are going to be gone. Now we're going to see the real Signetti. How can he recruit, and what can he do to make that team? You know, I got to take my hat off to Indiana. I got to. They only played 12 players on defense. Their defense was awesome, and congratulations to the Hoosiers. I'm glad you got it. But now we're going to see what this man can do recruiting-wise. And I just don't think he can carry it over. It might help him in the portal. You know, Indiana, they got deep pockets like Tennessee and Alabama and everything. But I just don't. His recruit. I don't know. But it surprises me. You know, I'm looking forward to next year. But you know what? We got basketball now, buddy. We can talk about basketball all day long.
That's right.
And guys,
I was going to say, you know what? I agree with you. And let me tell you this. The reason I agree with you is because being able to sustain the way college football is set up now, if you can do what he's done without bringing the players that already have your system, your way of doing things, your culture. Now, obviously, there's going to be players that did not start that now next year they're going to get their opportunity. But realistically, when you look at it, is he going to be able to turn in another replicated season? Will he be able to find lightning in the bottle with the new quarterback coming in and producing from the quarterback position like Mendoza did? Are we going to be able to see that? Now then, if we see that, if we see them back in the playoffs, if we see them at the top of the Big Ten, then we will start the conversation, is this Nick Saban reborn? But if he doesn't, then maybe we rush too quick to anoint him king of college football.
Yes, sir. And Paul, my next question is, and this is going to shock you. You'll probably drop the britches to your knees. But could that man, could Signetti be the next coach at the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Absolutely not. The reason why is because I believe he loves the college game. I believe he gets a kick out of it. I think he gets high off of it. I think he loves it where he can tell these kids stuff to do. If you watch the games, like I have watched these games and rewound those games and watched the way he coaches on the sideline, he likes to have his say in everything. If he wants to run the football, he's going to run the football. If he wants to throw the football, he's going to throw the football. If he wants to blitz, fake punt, any of that kind of stuff, he's doing it because he's got all control. Whereas on the NFL scale, there's not so much of the all control. Yes, you're in charge. Yes, you're the top dog. But there's a little difference. And yes, he had an old team. Yes, he had a lot of the older guys that he was coaching. But when you go to the NFL, there's a lot of prima donnas that you got to be careful about. And I don't think it matches his coaching style.
See, Paul, I grew up in Nashville, and this is why I love you. Man, this show is freaking awesome. Y'all got to get out and do some publicity or whatever. I got to meet you, man. You, Brandon, Bone Crusher. Man, y'all are awesome, and we got basketball season come up. And look, guys, I just went up to Tennessee this past weekend. I coached basketball up there for 20 years.
Wow.
I got 2 AAU championships, and one of my players, he's 31 years old, he passed away from a heart attack. And he's got a 3-year-old and a 9-year-old. So if y'all believe in praying, pray for him for me, okay, Paul?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Pray for him. Man, I love y'all. I cannot wait to meet y'all. Y'all are just doing an awesome job, and thank you so much for bringing this to the Panhandle.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you so much, Robert. We appreciate you, and we appreciate your call so much. We're bumped up against a break, and that is a wonderful way to end it. We appreciate you, Robert. Thank you so much. When we come back, we will discuss a little bit more of this game and see what really is going on with college football. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Taking your hot takes, rants, and takedowns. Let's hear it on the Red 7T studio line. 850-215-6290. ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Dan Patrick Show.
I know that we love to play the sympathy card with Buffalo. I know it. They've been through so much hardship, but this was about Josh Allen. He was careless with the football. Josh Allen had 4 giveaways, 2 picks, and 2 lost fumbles. And yes, this was supposed to be his year.
It's the Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings from 9 till 11. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good evening. This is Joanna with your weather forecast from ESPN Northwest Florida on this Tuesday. Partly cloudy tonight with a wind coming out of the east around 9 miles per hour and the low of 43. Tomorrow morning, look for a brisk wind and some clouds with a temperature near 57. The afternoon and evening, a high around 62 and mostly clouds. Thursday, quite warm with a high of 68 and some sun. This weather forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Are you living with chronic pain, anxiety, or sleepless nights? You don't have to just get by. You deserve to thrive. At Thrive Alternative Medicine on Panama City Beach Parkway, Dr. Laughlin and counselor Suzanne Clark provide a compassionate path to relief. From medical marijuana card certifications to professional mental health counseling, managing conditions like PTSD, chronic pain, and the complexities of cancer. Book online at thrivealternativemedicine.com. Thrivealternativemedicine.com. Find the relief you deserve.
In 2026, come on down to that boot store and pick out something that'll help make 2026 a year to remember. Choose from one of the largest selections of Western wear and accessories you'll find in the area and at an affordable price. For the hard worker, there's name brand Carhartt work clothes and all the right sizes with plenty to select from. At Boot Store, Tuesday through Thursday, 9 to 5, Friday and Saturday, 9 to 5:30. Next at Billboard Kia, 15th Street, Panama City. That Boot Store, where God is good all the time.
ESPN Northwest Florida advertisers get results. Here's MaxFit Sports Nutrition owner Jason Kovaleski.
So if you're looking to advertise or if you have a small business and you're looking to drive traffic to your store, check out ESPN 104.3 with Coach James Hale Show. I've been working with them for 7 years. They've driven a lot of traffic to my business. I get people all the time in my store that say, hey, I've heard you're on the radio. It's one thing to advertise on the radio where people may hear it. It's another thing to be able to come on, talk to your customers directly. It's just one of the best form of advertisements I did, and I've gotten great returns off of it. So if you're looking for some form of advertisement to drive traffic, check out Coach Hale Show on ESPN. Contact Coach Hale, and he'll hook you up and get you started in the right direction and get you a lot more business.
Get results for your business. Call ESPN Northwest Florida. 850-215-4468. 850-215-4468.
Vance Dooley and the Georgia damn Bulldogs, baby.
Now back to Herschel Walker, Texas Ranger.
Oh, you are now the original Gator hater.
It's the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson.
Herschel Walker and the Georgia damn Bulldogs.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Your home for the NFL playoffs and Super Bowl 60. And we appreciate everyone listening. Great calls today. Wonderful. And I know that some of you guys had wrote on there. And I just want to read them. Ryan Warren, you said, what a great call from Robert. Prayers to that man's family going up now. You know what? We all are on the same team here, guys. Even though Jeff's for the Big Ten and I'm for SEC, we still, are still on board with everybody here. Signetti is going to be a perennial 9-11 win playoff type team. They struck lightning in a bottle. Thanks for saying that, Chris Multicante. That's something that I say a lot. with Mendoza this year, and they took advantage of the opportunity. I agree. I agree with the fact that with the Big Ten schedule like it's set up, with the top heavy of their schedule, with them not playing teams like Ohio State every single year, with them possibly not playing Oregon every single year, it's going to be an easier road for them to go. I get it. I think unless what Jeff's saying is correct, if Illinois turns it around and really starts pushing, if USC
or
really
Iowa
gets there, if Iowa gets there, or Washington gets there. You know what? Iowa played them tough. Penn State played them tough. And Ohio State played them tough.
Yeah.
So, I mean, realistically, when you look at it, those three teams, that could have been 3 losses, really, honestly.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it was destiny. You can say what you want. I know we talked about it yesterday. You said you don't believe in destiny. I don't necessarily believe in destiny. I believe in hard work, and I think hard work pays off. But I do believe that they won and they deserved it.
So the last caller, he touched a little bit on recruiting and everything, and he didn't see how Indiana can sustain it, right? Mm-hmm. But okay, Indiana as a state in high school football is not a top 25 state,
right? No,
maybe a top 30 though. They're probably in that range as far as high school football goes. Okay. They can't go to Ohio and steal those Buckeyes because those Buckeyes, as long as the Buckeyes are winning, those guys are going to go to Columbus.
Yeah, but
it's a hard state to recruit out of.
Hold on. I'm going to disagree with you. They're going to be able to go in there because it's just like Alabama. As much as Alabama has dominated the state in recruiting, as much as Alabama has dominated in college football, there are still schools, there's still players that no matter what, when the orange and blue walk into the building, somehow, some way, some of the top recruits in the state of Alabama still will pick Auburn. I've got friends that went to Auburn, and I'm telling you, that were top football prospects. One being Willie Anderson that ended up at the Cincinnati Bengals, awesome offensive tackle. Alabama.
But I'm talking about going next door. Like it's hard to go next door into Ohio.
Not now.
Okay.
Not now. When Cignetti walks into a room now, he gets the aura because of what he's built up into this media frenzy that loves him so much.
Yeah, they are doing
great. I mean, that's helping his image. It's helping who he is. And he's banking on kids believing in him. When he's going there, he's not selling the program. He's not selling the state of Indiana. He's not selling our the stuff that we have at the school. He's not selling what the locker room looks like. He's selling himself. He's selling, you're going to come play for me, and me and you are going to do this thing. And he's good at it. He's good at it. College coaches make great salesmen because that's what they do every single time. Either way, we're going to the Red 70s phone line. We've got Rob on the phone from Lynn Haven. How are you doing today, Rob?
Y'all been talking about so many things, and I've wanted to call, and I've just now got time where I could get sat down and could call and talk what I think is hit on a few of the highlights. One, the punting thing. That guy ran out from behind his blocker.
Yes.
To do the Australian punt.
Yep.
And normally when you watch those guys, they kind of shuffle to that side.
Mm-hmm.
And did they not call the right punt? Because he went out there, and you can kind of see that when the defender was there, the blocker was there, he just kind of put his arm out like, okay, he's outside. I don't have to worry about him.
Yep.
And he just ran right straight up the field to where the punter was.
Yep.
So I, that was a great. They missed that one. There was miscommunications about something there. And the other thing is that you hadn't got to it yet, but really the hit that the quarterback took, that should have been targeted. I hate to say it, but that was because you could see if you ran it back and ran it forward, ran it back, the defender saw him hand off, and he said, "You're mine."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He turned and directed, and he launched crown of the helmet in the head and neck area. That he should have been, and I hate it, but he tried to hurt the quarterback.
Yeah.
And should have been ejected for it. So
yeah, I agree with you. We talked about that earlier off air, but definitely the referees, you could tell that they did not want to call anything that would really cause anyone to say that the referees is helping one way or the other. They let them play. There was egregious holds on both sides of the field. There was egregious holds, whether it was defensive backs from Miami or offensive linemen from Indiana. There were real holding penalties that should have been called that changed this landscape of that series.
That broke long runs for a 70-something yard touchdown.
Yes,
you know,
and it was both ways.
And you know, it's like with Miami against Ole Miss. You know, if you're going to not call pass interference and you're going to let them go back and forth or whatever, then don't wait till. I was just afraid they were going to wait till late in the game and call a crucial one and go like, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah,
you know, you've let that go because it was really, you know, if you're going to call it, they should have stopped it early and said, "Hey guys, you know, we're not going to do that." It's you know, because they took away all the back shoulder throws just about it.
Yeah.
You know, till, you know, it was, and there was the one, wasn't it the touch? Maybe it was in the pros in the touchdown the other night where they were in the end zone deep and they pushed off. The receiver pushed off. But,
it was in the pros.
But I was kind of you know, and I didn't really care, you know, but Miami was, what was it, Tucker or whatever it was, the defensive tackle for Indiana. They kept baiting him, you know, and pointing at him, and they were trying to get him to get a personal foul, and he never did.
Yeah.
You see what happened at the end of the game?
Mm-hmm.
After the game, you know, he went up to him and said, "See," and one of them took a swing at him.
Yeah, I saw that.
Fletcher. It was Fletcher.
Yeah, Fletcher of all people.
I know.
There to take a swing at him.
His draft stock went way up in that game. He could be a first rounder. He is not one now.
No, that's an issue right there. You know, when it comes to the pros, because you can't lose your cool.
Character.
And that guy's stock went up because he stayed out of it. You know, the whole game he let them do their thing. There was one time I saw where one of his players had to stop him. You know, but it was a great game. I thought that was one of the best national championship games we've had.
Now, Rob,
except for the Auburn Florida State game, that was a pretty good one.
Did you have a team in this game?
No, I didn't care one way or the other.
Gotcha.
You know?
Well, Rob, we sure do appreciate the call, but before we go, can we tell you that you, my friend, picked 31-27, and you are the winner of the gift cards for the Lone Star Boil House and Jersey Mike's. We will get you that, my friend, and Bone Crusher's going to keep you on the line, tell you when to pick that up. I think it's here ready to go for you. So I'm just telling you, man, you did it. You didn't do what Jeffrey did. Jeffrey said there was going to be a 20-point victory, and he was wrong.
Yep.
Well, when I was trying to decide on soccer how to do that, Jeffrey was talking about that 20 points, and y'all talked him out of it. And I thought, well, you know, I think it's could be a high-scoring game, but but anyway, that's just luck. I just pulled two numbers out of the sky.
Well, good job on that, my friend. We appreciate the call, and Bone Crusher's going to get some information from you.
All right, guys. Y'all have a great day. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. You know, he made a good point about the referees and all of that, and I really think they let them play this whole time. The whole thing, it was like they had a referee meeting, and they said, listen, guys, we are not going to be the reason behind one team winning or losing. This is not going to be that year. And they did it. And yes, and maybe that was the deal. Maybe during the season, Miami was called for more penalties than they were in the playoffs, and maybe Indiana in this final game, Maybe the reason why they didn't hit as many plays is because they were holding the wide receivers the whole time. Who knows? But I will tell you this. I saw egregious holding on both teams. Now, I will tell you, we got to read something from the Red 70s phone line. Chris wrote, Kirby needs to prove he can win a national championship without Brock Bowers.
Oh, my God, really?
And we all know Jeff's crazy because he thought the Canes were going to get steamrolled by over 20.
Yeah,
go ahead.
He had two different scores, and his score last week that he was saying on Friday was 35-7 for Miami, and then he scaled it back to like a 4-point win.
Now this is
Miami.
This is not multi-contact.
Oh, it's not multi-contact.
No,
Stevens?
This is yes, Chris Stevens.
Chris Stevens. Oh, okay. Well, at least I wasn't crazy like some of these people because everybody was picking Miami around here, other than Brian Haddad.
And then the last thing,
yeah,
if they play 10 times, Miami wins 4.
I don't believe that. Now, I will say the only thing that seemed kind of lucky, other than, of course, the block punt, was 4th and 5. When they had a 3-point lead, I think it was 17-14, they went forward on 4th and 5, and I was sitting there, I was like, I'm not sure if this is a wise decision. And then they converted. And then they end up with another 4th and 5, really deep in Miami's territory. And that's when Mendoza ran the ball in and made it 24-14.
Now, was that a shocking call to you? We haven't talked about that. That was a shocking call to me.
Absolutely.
A quarterback draw right up the gut.
And it was like he went to the left and then he curved right back behind a blocker.
That was a very athletic play. He knew he was going to take a lick, and he did.
Yeah, he did.
I thought maybe
he was a man.
Yeah, I thought maybe he would definitely, cough up some blood on that one. And I'm not sure what happened with him or not, and I'm not sure if he got the interview this morning with Good Morning America. I didn't see any of that, but maybe they stopped doing. Yeah. Well, did you see his arm? His arm was just
bruised
black and
scraped.
blue. Yeah, it was terrible, but they probably done away with the Good Morning America since Stetson Bennett showed up drunk that one morning. So they probably didn't do that, which I know Francisco probably wouldn't do that, but either way. Well, you know what? You know who shows up? AutoNation Ford in Panama City, 730 West 15th Street, right there by the railroad tracks. Make sure you go and see them for anything going on with your vehicle. The service department's there to help you. The parts department is there to help you as well. So if you need a part, you need service, go see them. AutoNation Ford, 730 West 15th Street, right there by the railroad tracks. You know who comes tomorrow? Brandon from Recommended Collision Center. And they are the place to get your vehicle back to working straight up again. If you've got dents, dings, or scrapes or scratches, go have those guys look at it. They'll give you a discount if you mention the store or mention the show. And go see them. They know exactly what they're doing. And like I said, he'll definitely tell you some new stuff that they're doing tomorrow when he comes in. Last week we learned about their ability in being able to fix aluminum beds, which I did not know about, and which is fantastic. So if you got a Ford, any kind of truck really now, because they're all aluminum, that you need to go see Brandon and those guys. Get your vehicle fixed back into shape. Another one that we haven't mentioned today that is very important. Baseball season is just around the corner. Panama City Little League, right there on our ESPNPC.com. Go see that logo, click on it. It'll get you signed up, your kids, for your boys and your girls playing baseball and softball. Also, t-ball for the little ones, and you can also volunteer to coach. And if you don't want to be the head coach, you can be an assistant coach, just because those guys, they're just as important. You'll coach a base or something. I don't know, or make sure that they're not eating their boogers in the dugout while they're there. There you go.
Tell the kids to steal. Go and steal. There's a certain level that they can start stealing, right?
Yeah. It's after coach pitch normally. Okay. So that's usually how it works. But either way, we're going to take our next break, and when we come back, we're going to finish out the season on this Indiana-Miami game. Talk about something that we need to talk about. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
The Red 70s studio line is now open. 850-215-6290.
ESPN Northwest Florida presents the most college basketball.
Three-pointer, college basketball is back.
The Panhandle's destination for live play-by-play.
The SEC, ACC, and beyond.
Oh, you saw that coming, Radford.
The biggest games play right here.
ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Hi folks, it's Tracy from Tracy's Fine Jewelry. Santa called and he asked me to help everyone get ready for Christmas and avoid the stress and rush. So we've stocked the store with all of our favorite pieces of gold jewelry, chains, bracelets, pendants, and earrings. Whatever you're looking for, Tracy's Fine Jewelry has the largest selection and the best prices in town. Looking for a curb chain for Dad? Tracy's has it. A gold cross for your sister? Tracy's has it. Even those white gold hoop earrings, yep, that's right folks, Tracy's has it. So shop where Santa shops. Tracy's Fine Jewelry inside Coin and Bullion Reserves.
We're proud to bring you the most popular cars in the world, like the stylish Camry and the sporty Corolla. Get award-winning style and 2.99% APR on a new Camry. Named the best new model by Kelly Blue Book. Plus, you get 90 days until you make your first payment. Curb appeal comes standard on the new Corolla. Designed to wow from the inside out. Get 2.99% APR plus 90 days until your first payment. Panama City Toyota, your Camry and Corolla headquarters.
Offer ends February 2nd. Visit PanamaCityToyota.com for details.
The Gator Boys are back
Florida will cut down the nets. Winners of the national championship.
and ready to defend their national title.
Layup good and wide. Off the rim. Alley-oop dunk. Smashed down by Condon. Oh, yes, sir. Gets the foul line extended. Rises for three. Bang, he got it to the rack. And dunks it with two hands.
On your home for Florida basketball.
Florida Gators, LSU Tigers tip off tonight at 6 on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
The sports world is a battlefield of opinions. And every day, Paul Wilson brings the heat, the fire, and the definitive take. Don't just follow the headlines. Be a part of the story on the Sports Blitz. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your place for all things sports related. And don't forget, the home of the NFL playoffs, Super Bowl 60 as well. You know, when you look at this season, well, before that, 850-215-6290, the Red 7T's phone line. Let me say this before we can, you know what? I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for the calls. We appreciate them. I love talking to you. I love talking to the listeners, and I love hearing your opinions. You sway me, and you sway Jeff, even though Jeff doesn't act like you sway him. You do sway him sometimes with your calls, so we do appreciate you calling and texting in on that line. We appreciate all of that, and we also appreciate the shares, the likes, the comments on Facebook as well as YouTube. So go on there, check us out, share it, comment, tell us something that you agree with, or even if you disagree. You know, keep the hateful comments to Jeffrey, and I'll make sure he reads them all. But when you but when you look at it, this game, you had to look all the way down. And we mentioned it in the first hour when we started talking about it. And Fletcher had 112 yards and 2 touchdowns. He played a good game. It seemed like the wear and the tear of that offensive line got to, started imposing its will a little bit on the defensive line. I mean, they don't play a lot of players. They don't have a lot of depth. But it did seem like they were able to push them around a little bit and started to make some ground. Where I think realistically Miami really struggled is the fact that they were 3 for 11 in third downs. That's really the ball game right there to me. Yeah. Because they were not able the thing that they did well against Ole Miss was how that Carson Beck, when the pocket would move or when he would move or when he would see something, he would take off and run. If you noticed last night, he really didn't do that at all. And he didn't extend any drives with his legs. That was something that was needed to me to really make this game a lot closer. Now, you say it was still close because they had a chance to win at the end. I mean, that was an unbelievable task that they had on their hands, being able to be that close. I do believe that Miami can beat them, could have beat them. I think that game was not, earlier you made mention that you thought Indiana was better than Miami. I didn't see that. I thought that the game plans were good. I think both coaches coached well.
Yeah, but did Indiana outcoach Miami?
I don't think so.
What?
I don't think so. Let me tell you what. There was some plays that I didn't understand. I think that going into the half, I think Cignetti messed up. I think a couple of the play calls that I believe came from Cignetti, I don't think they worked. The play call for the draw, I think it was all Cignetti, and I think that worked. But I also think that Mendoza made he just made a play. And that's what you do. You put Coach Tommy Joe Whidden from Mosley, he says this: when the game's on the line, you got to put the ball in your best player's hands.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what Cignetti did. Mm-hmm. And so really, when you look at it in that regard, yes, he got that done. But to say that Mario Cristobal got out coached in this game, no. You can't tell me because of a false start or because of one play that a 19
delay a
20,
game.
They all had it. They had Cignetti had to call a timeout a couple of times.
Yeah. At least he's using a timeout.
Yeah, but his timeouts were all gone at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Had they had gotten ahead, and I know they didn't, and I know if frogs had wings, they wouldn't hit their butt every time they jump. I get the if thing, but if you look at, they used all their timeouts because of this or because of that, and I'm just telling you, I didn't see a greater level of coaching out of Cignetti than I did Mario Cristobal. I just think some of the things went the way. You take away the block punt, and I know you can't take it away.
Yeah,
you take away the block punt, game's totally different. Game's totally different. We could be talking about Miami. Are they back? I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to.
Well, on fourth down, what did Indiana go? Like 2 for 2?
They were 2 for 2.
And
yes.
Miami went 0 for 1? Maybe?
0 for 2.
Oh, they went 0 for 2?
Yeah, they went 0 for 2.
Yeah, that right there. You got outcoached. Because you couldn't stop them. You know what they're doing. I mean, come on.
They didn't run a draw in none of the games that they had.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, that's right there just says you got outcoached.
You can't.
Because when the pressure's on, your team came through because you're the smarter person.
No. Sometimes players make plays.
True. And Miami has a lot of talent on both sides of the ball.
They've got a lot of talent. And if you look at what I really wanted to really come in today with this show, not only to give Indiana their due, they deserved it. They played well all year. They done what they had to do, even in the close games, even in that game last night. But the flip side of it, what I also wanted to come in and say was Miami's defense was probably, they were so good to me. Because if you look at it, Indiana had 35 minutes of possession. Mm-hmm. And Miami only had 24.
Yeah.
They had way more plays. Mm-hmm. But if you look at it, Mendoza was 16 of 27 for 186 yards. He didn't even throw a touchdown.
I thought he threw one. He didn't throw one? Oh, block punt was the other one. Mm-hmm. He ran one in. They had a block punt, and then the third one was a running back? Is that what it was?
I think so.
Okay.
Unless my stats are wrong, and it could be.
Huh. Okay.
But then you look at, they had 3 sacks against Indiana. Mm-hmm. They had but they still didn't give up, but 131 rushing yards. 186 and 131. That's a total of 317 yards. They held the Heisman Trophy winner. Mm-hmm. And this unstoppable offense
they just scored 56 last week or 10 days ago, whatever.
Blew out Oregon, blew out Alabama, blew out Illinois, blew out this one, blew out that one, did all of this, beat who everybody talked about was the greatest defense in college football, which was Ohio State.
11 weeks straight at number 1, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Something like that.
But Miami's defense played good enough to win. It was the offense this time that was their Achilles heel. Well, special teams and offense.
Yeah.
Because that was a problem.
So kudos to Miami. Great year. Probably the most improved team maybe in the whole nation. Maybe. One of them, definitely. Yeah. I mean, Alabama showed glimpses in them, after that Florida State opening loss, they showed, but that November was bad. It was bad. And the way that Indiana throttled them, it left just a bad taste in your mouth, and it's the last taste that you have of the season.
Well, I'm going to read something that our friend back again said. Miami was the better team, but didn't play better as a whole. I also think Cignetti will be exposed next year. It's coming. Google it. Pretty good. That was good.
Well, okay. This 9 and 11 wins and all that. It could actually be worse than that. They could go 8-4 next year. At the worst.
It just depends on their schedule.
So their schedule, they're playing at the Big House against Michigan and at Ohio State. Trying to remember. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. Ohio State's the home game. That's what it is. And USC's the home game. And then they go at Washington. Those are the 4 games that they could lose and be 8-4. That's their floor. What's their ceiling? Is it 11-1? Possibly.
Yeah. Well, and as well as I do, it's all going to depend on the quarterback position. If this guy from TCU is going to be able to come in and play the type of quarterback play that like Mendoza had. And, I mean, they're going to need to have the running backs going. They're going to need to have their offensive line. A lot of these guys are leaving. A lot of these guys are going to be gone. A lot of these guys aren't going to be there anymore. Their top receivers gone. Their quarterback's gone. Usually when that kind of stuff happens, if you don't have depth, I know they won what people are saying. They're in the top 5 of portal transfers and all that. I get it. But are they going to be able to replicate it? Are they going to be able to play the same way? Are they going to be the same tough team that they're going to be? And you know what? If they get somebody early, that could be something that spins the team out of control if they lose, because it takes away the stigma of playing an undefeated, playing undefeated football. That's something that they refused to lose. They played lights out. They were able to pull off the games against Penn State, Iowa, and then eventually Ohio State and then Miami. But that Penn State game, they lose that game, or that Iowa game, they lose that game. Now we're looking at vulnerability. Now we're looking at having to deal with different obstacles. So it's really going to be, is he going to be able to go undefeated early on? Does he have an Iowa on his schedule? Does he have an Illinois on his schedule that they're going to be back, that they're going to be hungry, that they're going to be good? Who knows? Or can they win against who they play? Tell me who they got.
Minnesota, Northwestern, Purdue.
All 3.
Nebraska.
Bad. No.
Nebraska be their 5th hardest game of the year, Nebraska.
No.
And Rutgers. But those 4 that I said, they can beat USC at home. Right? Of those 4 games, that'd be the easiest one that they win.
Yeah.
Okay. The next one would be at Washington. Hey, you're going to the West Coast. You could drop a game maybe in Washington. Who knows? And then, of course, at the Big House. And then, of course, Ohio State at home. Those are 4 games. This 8-4 is their floor, but their ceiling is definitely 11-1. And, of course, it depends upon the quarterback play.
Yeah, well, go ahead and mark it down that we're going to talk about it. When they go 5-0, everybody's going to be talking about, oh, man, repeat.
Yeah.
You just get ready for it.
But the thing is that out-of-conference schedule is going to be 3 of those 5 games. So,
right, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, beating up Miami of Ohio, really? No, I'm sorry. Oh, wait a minute. Western Kentucky.
There you go. Same deal.
Howard.
Yeah. They're going to be 5-0 before they even have a chance to even have somebody that they won't pull their quarterback in the 4th quarter.
And North Texas without Mestamaker or their coach.
Right. Yeah. And obviously it's a good thing. It's smart. Don't schedule anybody. Schedule cupcakes, because it hurts you if you lose to a good team. It did Texas.
Yeah. And go into Texas, play North Texas in Dallas, right?
Yeah.
Well, not in Dallas, but you'll be playing a Texas team and get your name out there. Because you know what? That's about the best place to recruit other than Miami, because nobody really owns the whole state, really.
Yep.
There's so many players that come out of Texas.
Now, think about this. This is where the rubber is going to meet the road. We got 1 minute left, and this is going to be my closing statement for the Indiana Hoosier football team for today. The fact is that now they are no longer going to be the underdog story anymore. They are national champions.
Yeah.
They're returning national champions. And so now they are going to be the team that comes in as the favorite.
Yeah.
Can they sustain what they did with being the favorite and not being counted out early as underdogs? Now that's something that you got to be able to coach through. So either way, if Cignetti is this great guy, great coach, which I think he is, will he be able to sustain? We done it. Thanks, guys, so much for listening. We appreciate all the calls, all the texts, all the likes, and the shares. We will see you tomorrow. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Come on, Gators. Let's play some basketball.
This just in.
Get the latest sports news, scores, and updates from 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Follow us on Facebook for exclusive content, behind-the-scenes action, live streams, and the chance to interact with your favorite hosts.
Stay connected.
Stay